never get free. Lamb to the slaughter, what you gon' do when there's blood in the water? The price of your greed is your son and your daughter. What you gon' do when there's blood in the water? Look me in my eyes.
Hi guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. Now, this is a brand new one I just came up with earlier today. Sorry guys, it took me so long to get the story together because I want to make this one different. Because a lot of people have done, this type of What If. I've seen a few of them, so I'm gonna go a different route. So now, the main character is going to be Izuku, but he doesn't get that name until later on. So he's a dragonkin. He's basically a dragon. The dragons have sorry, the dragon's base form is almost humanoid, but they have like pointy ears, not as long as elves, but pointy enough. And each clan has, each element has its own clan. Like like the main character, he's going to be a shadow dragon, so he's going to be, drop something. He's going to be from the shadow dragon clan. Then, you got the dark dragons, the light dragons, holy dragons. Then you got fire, ice, all the other elements. So, not gonna go through all of them, but they have their own little system going on. As this is way back before humans had quirks and stuff like that. Where oh yeah, and magic will be a part of this. So as we we begin our story, and yeah, okay, I'm getting confused, but let's continue. As we cut to a pregnant, I'm going to refer Deku as Bahamut because it's the most recognizable, easiest dragon name I could come up with at like a last minute. So he's going to be called Bahamut from until he gets his human name. I'm going to deal with that later, but we cut to a castle. It's like a big room. Not technically castle, but it's framed up as like a meeting place for, meetings from other nations. As it's all the dragons in their human form. And with different houses of royal lines. As now, what's going on here right now? Little background check on the other nations. To coexist with the humans, they formed a pact with their chosen master. As it's not. It's I'm like sorry. I know it kind of sounds like enslavement, but it's voluntary enslavement. If that makes any sense. Kind of like they're like the humans are like the riders of the dragons. They have once they form the pact, the humans get able to wield magic, and their body changes. They're stronger, they're faster. Each of them get a different ability, separate ability. majorly from the clan. They've been doing this for a couple generations. As you know, they're all talking among themselves, as they're just empty seat for the Shadow Dragon clan. As they're like, are they going to show up? They're most likely not going to bother this year again. As you know, the Holy Dragon's like, why are they being so stubborn? It's simply, it's the way things are going nowadays. You got to adapt, or you can't follow the old customs anymore. As order to coexist with humans, with them being that countless wars has been fought with dragons and humans, and hatred was born eventually, and then you had dragon slayers and all that stuff happened. So it was destroying the nations all around the world, all yeah, all around the world. So this ended up being a legend, myth then over the centuries, but we need to continue forward. As they see, Bahamut's mother and dad. It's basically, looks like Inko, but with black hair, skinny, and a man with black hair. As she sits down, as one of the holy dragons like, you finally graced us with your presence, oh mighty of the Shadow Clan. As he's like, I was against you being in this console in the beginning. You're nothing but sass. You're nothing but monsters. You have no pride, as Sashi's about to say something as let's just call her let's just call her Inko for now, because I don't know what to call her. As she stuffs her husband. As he stops talking. As she's like, pride? Are you? I can't believe you said that. Said that to me in a straight face. As she's pregnant with Bahamut. Izuku. As you lower yourself to be merely a domesticated cat. All of you. Disgusting. Lowering yourself to, to this. As, the Holy Dragon, Holy Dragon's like, it has been done in the past. As she's like, I'm not disrespecting the pack binding ritual. It's the way you go about it. As she's kind of serious. I see those symbols on your hands. These are nothing but a force pact. Disgusting. As they're talking and they're like, arguing, like they didn't have, they were just trying to make a lasting peace fast, and they had, an easy idea. And it's just like, instead of thinking that idea out before implementing it all around, enslaving our kind into force bonds, into nothing but, neat little pets, little playthings for the humans. As, some of the, humans are yelling, and, as, sorry, as several, elves walk in, he's like, all right, that's quite enough. And she's like, I understand your grievance on the pact, but what's done is done. You're the only ones, left. As, as she's, talking about, in a nice way, about forcing them to do it. As you know, Inko's like, she starts laughing. You seriously? No. Oh, I can't believe it. As you know, I saw she's getting upset. As she's like, enough, husband. Don't talk. As she gets up, nor, my people, my clan will never agree to this method of pact binding. You single-handedly, disrespected the whole process with what you've done here. Disgusting. As forced packing is, it could be done, but, it's very dangerous for the host, for the dragon, and the life form that, doing the pact. They've lost a lot of people that way, dragons too. It's a very dangerous way to go about it, but a peer pact is something, every dragon has a, let's just call it I'm trying to think of a word, how to describe it. Give me a second here. Okay, I'm back. Every dragon has a true packed life form. I guess you go around that saying. Like there's each dragon has a packer, with to form a I forget how I pronounced it. A pure blood pact. I guess you'd be called kind of like a blood pact a little bit, but it's a pure pact between a dragon and another life form. Not only do if you go through it, the natural way, that the benefits are extreme for the dragon and the human. A symbiotic relationship. They both have to be they have to survive the process. They have to be what's it called the dragon is able to tell if they're compatible. So if Muhammad ever did it to a pact to to a human, he wouldn't do it if it endangered the human's life. That's the line that he won't cross. Now, let's continue. I'm rambling now. Sorry, guys. As she, walks out, as like, you force this issue, I'll annihilate you all. As from now on, my borders are closed. She's any any dragons or any dragons or humans that comes in my territory, it will be killed on sight. I won't be a part of this. As she walks off with her husband. As a few years has progressed. As Izuku more than a few years. As Izuku is like, I guess in dragon years, I guess he would be like let's just say she gave birth in him. Sorry, she gave birth to him in her dragon form because he's like extremely big dragonkin. Not like fat or anything. He's just he's bigger than most dragons. His age. So after the birth of Muhammad, we're gonna skip when he's like 11. As sorry, as the clan close off all the borders. As you know, there's humans that there's humans that are under their protection. That's on their territory, so they don't bug them. So they leave them alone, and they leave them alone. So as it's a give and take relationship. So as Izuku's around 10. I think I said 10 or 11. As 11. As Izuku is like walking in the forest, as he sees a young human girl. She's around, she's quite, she's maybe 9. It's not, it's not the ship. It's not the, this is one of, as he sees the, the blonde girl, I'll explain this, this is part of the story, so. As Izuku sees, a couple of predators, couple cat predators, as they're about to lunge onto, the young girl, as Izuku, grabs one by the head as he stops from moving. Sorry, as he, slams it on the ground. As Izuku kicks the other one, was going to charge at the young, girl. As, she got scared. And she's like, Izuku's like, why are you out here, human? She's like, I was just, picking flowers. As did your elders ever tell you, to stay, in the village? This area is, if I remember right, it's forbidden for your people. And she's like, yeah, but I was just curious. And she's just curious for, knowledge and stuff like that. She was trying to find, different flowers, see what they do, and she's quite intelligent for around, her age. And she's like, huh, interesting. Well, you run along. As, Izuku's like, human, wait, what is your name? As she's like, her name, first name's not important, but is, oh, I'm, let's just say, she's called, let's see. Don't use a name that I've been using a lot, but I'm gonna think of a new name. Let's just call her, let's just call her Lee for now. I'm only going to, mention her once since what if, so, it's not important too much, but let's just say her name is, yeah, no, let's just go with, I'm, Lee Rosefield. And she's like, it's very nice to meet you. And she's like, and you are? And she's like, I'm Bahamid. And she's like, that's a funny name. And she's like, as, time progresses, Izuku goes over there occasionally, the border, and, hang out with, the little girl. As, that goes on for, for several months before, she stops coming. As we cut to, where, Midoriya's parents are at, they're at their little, home base. Now, they have, houses and stuff like that. They're not like, total, hardcore dragons. So, have a den, but, but they do have, little civilization, each clan, for, each dragon, because they normally don't go into their dragon form unless, going into battle. So, stop. I need to stop saying that, but as that information has been progressed, as Izuku, walks in the room with, her mother yelling, holding, a letter, She's like, as you know, I saw, the husband of, guess, he would be, he would look like a Sashi, I guess. I don't know. Sashi's, face never been shown so far, so let's say, her husband. And she's like, you need to calm down, dear. It's not that, big a deal. She's like, not that big a deal. My twin sister is getting married to a human. Do you not see the problem with that? As he's like, I understand, that, that's frowned upon sometimes. As, like, sometimes our blood should never mix with the human race. It's like giving a child, it's like giving a child a crossbow and having, like, go at it. As, they're arguing. As she's like, she literally does. Took our, our family pride, our history, and just threw it out the window. Dating this Midoriya guy. A family named Midoriya. It's disgusting. As as that happens, as she's like, my apologies, as as she's trying to calm down a little bit, as she's like, why are you so quiet? As she's talking to her husband. This is what are you okay with this? That's like, are you on her side? Like always? As he sees, Izuku. I was like, oh, my boy, you're here. As he goes up to Izuku, please save me. She's gonna kill me. Remember, I'm your father. As he's like, oh, Dad, I've been meaning to, I was looking for you. I was like, Mother, would you allow me to borrow Dad for a little bit? He wants to, he promised to teach me some things. And she's like, of course, sweetheart. You, run along. As, as he's, Muhammad and his father's like, thank you, son. Your mother's get crazy. And she's like, huh. Mother found about how Auntie's marrying a human. As, his father's like, what? You know about that? Of course, Auntie tells me about everything. And it's not that hard to, see. She's been distancing herself away from, the main clan because, of strict etiquettes we have in this family. But, nevertheless, I could care less about all that jazz. I could care less about that. That's pointless, really. I don't see the point in, putting yourself out there for another being so you could crush it. As Izuku, he's around 11 in this. Yeah, he's around 11. As he's like, you understand someday, son. It's like one day, you might find, the one person, they're talking about. Oh, you're talking about that bonding thing. No, never. I would never lower myself to their standards. As there's several dragons being chained up as he looks out the window. As there are rival clans going into, trying to start stuff because they're not following everyone. The Dragon Council, they're not following the rules. So he's like, yeah, I'm sorry about that, son. Well, your mother has strict policies and she doesn't, how she says it, doesn't negotiate with terrorists. As I'm just adding that in because that's way beyond before terrorists happened. But as like your mother's always said, she doesn't negotiate with decimated with pets. As that's a lot more, that would make more sense in the story. logic-wise, because, there's no terrorism, this time. And she's like, mother tends to be overprotective. Humans are not all that bad. As, it's like, have you been visiting humans behind your mother's back again? And, yeah, that's one of them. She's quite interesting. Her family is apparently royal. Apparently, their family line is royal blood, apparently. Found that interesting. But apparently, there was a coup and the royal line was shipped off somewhere. And apparently landed here. So, fascinating family, really. They're very gifted in magic, I've noticed. And she's like, interesting. Dad, I want you to, keep an eye on that village for a while. What do you mean, son? And she's like, I just want to close watch that village. All the humans I've interacted with so far that were rude was that one. So I'm fond of that village. As I've sneaked in there a couple of times. Invisible, of course, Father. Don't want to announce my presence. And I watch, their daily lives. Humans are fascinating, actually. And given this bond thing, as much as I hate the idea, but it would be a whole lot easier if Mom would cave in and, find a suitable, guess you would say, comrade. But Mother won't because, she's stubborn. As, they walk off, a few years, a few days pass as, there's a loud, bang. As, several humans in Dragonkin, as they round up, No, not yet. As, as Izuku, continues his years, at least a year. As, his mother, been watching his behavior recently as she, noticed that he's been spending time with humans. As she doesn't, like that very much. But she can't do nothing about it. As, she's talking to Asashi. As she's like, yeah, the boy, I don't see nothing wrong with it. It's just, she's worried about, him doing what his sister does. And she's like, no, you have nothing to worry about, sweetheart. He's doesn't see them as close to him. He's just, he's curious about them. It's more of a curiosity than he's nothing like your sister. And she's like, I still don't like it. But I guess, if he's happy, then I could allow it to a certain point. But if they get any closer, I'm separating them. And she's like, yes, of course, wife. As there's been several attacks onto the, territory. As Izuku, they attacked, Izuku's place too. As, several humans and dragons go through, the village. As they're, rounding up all their, all the dragons. As they chain them all up. As, Inko and them are fighting with, some of the other dragons. As several, they they killed her. They took him down with Dragon Slayer equipment when they started to transform. As Izuku, looks at this as he's like, As he's like, all right, I'm actually angry. This is the first. As you know, one of his, one of the younger dragons from not too young, but he's part of Izuku's protection that's always around him. As he's like, young master, we should get out of here. As he's like, no, these bastards, killed my mother and father. They're dead. As Izuku, jumps off the thing, jumps off the little, part of the building. The, top of stairs, as, he jumps down. As several humans come towards him. As Izuku, just shoots purple fire out of his hands. Yeah, his fire is purple in this, so, because he's a dragon. And he looks like in the thumbnail, but younger in this part, because, he's still a kid. As he's vaporizing everyone, as he's like, I wanted to be nice. I was trying to, not to go overboard here, but you're making this kind of hard. As he's, vaporizing, as one of the dragons, come at him, full dragon form. As you see, he's like, as it lunges at Izuku, as he jumps out of the way. In a pure instant, he goes into the shadows. As several shadow spears start appearing, getting thrown out of the shadow. As it appears in, the dragon. As, he's, breathing heavy. As he's like, what is your name, youngling? As he's like, Bahamut. As he's like, finish it. This is like, very well. As, he summons a spear and pierces the dragon in his heart. As he pulls it out, as it vaporizes. As he shows the dragon the proper respect, because he was a proper opponent. As he's like, as several portals, every shadow there is around the area, because it's not nighttime, but it's pretty close. As miniature shadow dragons start popping out. They're not actual dragons, they're just shaped like dragons. As they start tearing everyone apart. As he begins, his warpath. As several, wizards come in. As they got, let's just say, they have a good sized crystal ball thing. As the archers, shoot at Midoriya. As Midoriya transforms into his dragon form, as he blocks it with his wings, as he, breathes in and breathes out, as he extremely powerful condense fire, he condenses it into a beam as he shoots at the several archers as they go flying. As Izuku's like, Mother was actually right. This is actually kind of fun. As he's, angry, but, he has somewhat of control over what he's doing. A little bit. As he's like, I'm actually having fun, but that doesn't mean I'm not pissed you killing my mother. But stage of process. I gotta go through the steps. So I guess I'll be using you guys as, a method of healing. As he begins, shattering everyone. As he begins, that's killing everyone there as, they're retreating. As Izuku, spends a few months just going after village of the council and the humans that, you know, align with them. As we cut to, several of the holy dragons. If we cut to the rose fields, as they're like, Mrs. and Mr. Rosefield, we normally wouldn't, disturb your family's outcasts, your family's, sorry, your family from your old days. Sorry, let me fix this because I don't want it to happen again. It's like, as he says the dragon name, it's been a while. What do you need? As you know, the dragons of, what's been going on in our community. It's just like, yes, you're trying to forcibly enslave a dragon to a human. I don't really see the logic in that, but continue. And we kind of attacked their home base, and apparently we killed their leader, and her child is going a bit of a monk, going a little bit crazy. As the young girl is like a teenager now, as she's like, "What is Bahamut, misbehaving?" And she's like, "Yeah, he's kind of going on a rampage. He's been attacking the Dragon Council itself." As you know, as we speak, as her mother and her daughter gets up, and she's like, the Rosefield women is like, "Daughter, yeah, I know, it's my responsibility. He is my friend after all." And she's like, "Don't worry, I don't really care what your name is, but don't worry. Oh, I know what your council want to do is in Midoriya, and I'm not having that. I'll do it our way." As I'm saying, the age difference because, dragons age slower than humans, so. Izuku is a lot more, yeah, so that's how that happens. Okay. That's how I'm gonna do this. So as everyone's, Izuku, firing a couple of squads of men, of soldiers, as Izuku gets, blasted with, magic, as, he hits down, as, the rage is taken over, as that's when, the daughter, I think I named her Lee, Rosefield. Let's just go with Lee, as, Lee, she tells, like, Ezekiel, as, Bahamut, that's enough. You're misbehaving. You're being a bad dragon. As, he slowly, stopped. As he's still fighting, get him under control. Sorry? And one of the soldiers decided it was a smart idea to try to take a snipe shot at him. As, an arrow, hits Midoriya in the head. In his dragon form, as it bounces off, as Izuku, his eyes turn purple and looks at the guy as he begins, using his fire, killing the rest of the soldiers. As that's when they start chanting, as they're like, as the mother's like, "Sweetheart, you're gonna have to do it." And she's like, "Sorry, Midoriya. Sorry, Bahamut, I hope you don't hate me for this," as as they have, as they're chanting, as they're, kind of witches. So, they're witches that, left Paris. So, from that region around that time or whatever, they came from that area. So, they moved here. As they trap Midoriya in a, let's just say, let's do it that way. As Izuku gets sealed in what you would call a, I guess a locket. That will do. A locket. As it's, it's quite, it has a couple, seals on it. As he's like, as her mother's like, how long is the seal for, my daughter? As she's like, a good long distance. It's sad in me that, I had to do that to, Muhammad. But he was causing way too much trouble. Well, when he awakens, it won't matter because I won't be around. None of us will be. As, they pass it on to, their family line. They protect it from daughter to daughter. So, we're going to probably stop it there because we're at 40 minutes. So, hope you guys have a good night and day. Judge my time zones. And I might upload another part tomorrow. So, if this does well. So, catch you guys later. All right, bye.